Hello friends, this is Avdhut Joshi from ASPA Classes. I would like to welcome you all in the Career Yatra webinar co-organized by ASPA Classes, iLead Training and Jeevan Rangan. Friends, from last 3 weekends, we are meeting on the same platform. We are discussing several career options. Till today, we have not only discussed the career options which are in commerce like CA and CS, but we also have discussed, we also have covered several other career options like LLB, law, civil services, and medical. For last 19 years, ASPA Classes is actively working in setting career path for youngsters. Our ultimate motto is to make students aware about the spectrum of career and opportunities available with the students once they pass the school. This is our step to make India glorious and shine like a sun. Today we are going to discuss a very unique career that is very glamorous itself in nature, and not only glamorous but is also creative as well. We are going to talk about career in architecture as a career. It is said that a city can be shaped by many things. It can be food, it can be choice of cuisine, it can be culture, heritage, or people as well. But perhaps nothing can define a place as distinctly as its architecture. Whether it's through thoughtful urban planning or adopting cultural movements, a visual design of a city can transport you through time. The magic of this particular visual design lies in architecture. Architecture is a science, obviously. Architecture is a science for sure, but it is art as well in its own aspect. It's very much ahead than just systematically strict and symmetrical lines. It is very much ahead than that. There are so many cities which can be taken here as an example for that matter, like St. Petersburg of Russia, which fought over strict and symmetrical style and adopted Rococo style of architecture, whereas Rome of Italy remained with their faithful with their Baroque style of architecture. Budapest of Hungary, it adopted Art Nouveau style of architecture. Athens of Greece, which has a classical style of architecture. Istanbul of Turkey adopted the Ottoman style, which is a very good blend mixture of classical and Islamic style of architecture. All these speak its specific design. Well, that's the beauty of architecture itself. Slowly, architecture got into new colors, adopted new style. It's called modernism and futurism. And then new cities formed in the world, like Dubai, like Brasilia, like Berlin, Chicago, New York, Shanghai, as well as Chandigarh of India, which is a very good example of mid-century modernism. So, isn't this architecture very interesting field? Sure, it is. Today we have two really very dignified guests to guide us and take us to the architecture as a field, as a career option, to cover the educational requirement, to cover the educational part, the eligibility and qualification. We have principal of Pillai College of Architecture, Dr. Surya Mahimkar ma'am. She has graduated architecture in 1990 and joined as a full-time faculty at Dr. D.Y. Patil College of Architecture for 4 years. And then various colleges she joined as a lecturer like Indian Education Society's College of Architecture, Rizvi College, Harane College. Meanwhile, she got master's degree in specializing in town and country planning. In 2016, she completed a PhD, and since last year, she has joined as a principal of Pillai College of Architecture. If I decide to even talk about her other accolades, her other achievements, especially in the area of research and published journals, then probably 1.5 hours wouldn't be enough. So without further ado, it's a privilege for us, ma'am, that you are here and you are guiding us, our students. So without further ado, I would like to just hand over the session to you, Mr. Dr. Mahimkar, ma'am. Please enlighten us. Thank you.
Thank you, Avdut. First of all, I would really like to appreciate this great initiative by ASPA classes, that Career Yatra, and they are giving glimpses of various different careers. I think that is a showing path or guiding students and making them aware of various careers. and architecture is of course one of the different careers available to the students. I would say that what I can talk about is mainly about the admission process and what is architecture all about, and whether you really think that you are made for this career or this career is made for you. Uh, I will have some presentation. I will share the PPT with you, and in which you will get a complete idea of what is architecture, what is taught in that, what is the syllabus, and what are the future uh, career options, what is the further education options. We will go through this PPT. I'm sharing it. Okay, so first of all, you all might be thinking that what is architecture? See, architecture, generally this particular course has a very less exposure to general public. See, when we are thinking of taking admission to engineering, we exactly know what we are going to learn and what we are going to do. Similarly, if you are taking admission to MBBS, you exactly know what you are going to do. But architecture is little kind of mysterious field for people, and you know this word, you know the term. I think Avdut has explained a lot about architecture. But what exactly is architecture and what do you know about architecture? See, when we visit, you must have visited various historic places and all, and we generally get awestruck. Oh my God, this is such a huge structure, a stupendous structure, and we get awestruck. And back of the mind, definitely we start thinking that who has conceived it, who must have thought about it, and whether they have made a small model to get the idea of it, how they might have conveyed to the probably the king or maybe whoever the boss at that time who wanted to construct these structures. What would be the way of explaining what the designer is thinking about, and how these people must have visualized these structures, say Taj Mahal or maybe a Tower of Pisa or maybe these wonders of the world. What you are seeing on the screen are, we can say, modern wonders in architecture. Just look at the structure. We really get awestruck that how people must have, these architects must have thought about it even, and how these structures are conceived. We really get awestruck, and how to put it on paper and how to execute it. If you really, when you look at these structures, you think of all these things in your subconscious mind, then definitely see, the structures, the thinking of it, the conceiving of it, putting it on paper, and then conveying it to the another person who is completely probably not knowledgeable about all these drawings and all. So making him understand what you are thinking about, and then ultimately executing it and constructing it on site. This whole process is an architect's work. So what is architecture? We can say the process and the product. Process and the product. So thinking and then completing it till its construction. Okay, so product of visualizing, planning, designing, and constructing buildings and other structures. If you want to look at or have a glimpse at the life of an architect, you can have these links on YouTube. You can just type that, so you want to be an architect, and you will come across these links. So why one should select an architecture course? First of all, I would say the best advantage of being an architect is you can be your own boss. People generally think whenever you are thinking of taking admission to different courses, you start thinking, okay, what would I do after I complete this course, and what are the job opportunities, how much pay I will get. But in architecture, immediately when you pass out, you can immediately start your own office. Of course, it depends on lot many factors, but still you can immediately start being your own boss. You don't have to take orders from anyone else. You can start your office and you can work on your own terms. I think that is the biggest advantage of this particular career. Another thing is it gives a lot of scope to the creativity in you. That is your thought process, your designing skills, and the execution skills, drawing skills. All these skills get a lot of scope in this particular course. Another thing is because you are your own boss, obviously the work schedule can be flexible. You can manage as per the time available to you. And as Avdut sir already mentioned, that this course is much glamorized through serials, through cinemas, and of course you must be aware of mm, various well-known people, I would say Ratan Tata, who is of course not doing architecture, Ritesh Deshmukh not doing architecture, but they are architects, and then they have found their own different paths to follow. So architecture is not only about constructing buildings. I would say architecture deals with various forms of arts and science and management. So it's a mix of all. It's a great mix of all. But if you stick to architecture and you follow the visualizing of buildings and constructing of buildings, then just remember that your creations live longer than you. So that is the most convincing reason, I would say, that why I should take architecture. My creations will live much longer than me. Are you still confused that whether the course is meant for you or not, or whether you are meant for this course or not? So see, there are various skills which you probably have, maybe hidden in you, maybe you have liking for it, maybe you have passion for it. Okay, so think if you have it in you or not. You like sketching, drawings, paintings. You like to visualize things in 3D. Probably you might be already working on computer with various 3D softwares and all. You can stay up whole night. Definitely, I would say that this whole generation is used to this. You are staying up whole night. You are a night owl. Then structures interest you. Yes, this is very, very important. Whether you like the structure, whether you appreciate the structure, and whether the structures talk to you or communicate with you. You have good communication skills, and you love various forms of art. Not only drawing, sketching, you like music, you like dance, you like any XYZ form of art, then definitely you can become a great architect. You have a technical mind, yes. So till now we are talking about arts. Now we will talk about science and technical mind. So it's not only an art. You cannot just keep make a sketch that you like to do and keep it aside and maybe to show the people and say that see how great sketch I can make. Architect's job or responsibility is not only to make a sketch, but to see to it that it would come into reality. You have to execute it on site, you have to build it, and there are n number of technical aspects to it. So definitely an artist has to have this technical mind, then only you can become an architect. Or if you have both, a combination of both, then you can become a great architect. Okay, of course you have to have analyzing ability. You are supposed to be a great manager also. So you have to have management skills, because you have to manage at various levels. You are managing at your office level, you are managing at your site or construction level, you are talking to your laborers, you are talking to your draftsmen, and you are of course the most important is your client. You are convincing your ideas to your client. So you have to have this analyzing ability, you have to have management skills, and last but not the least, ability and willingness to work hard. See, architecture is a very, very demanding course. It calls for a lot of work. Maybe actually many a times parents come to us and say, अरे मेरा बेटा तो रात रात भर सोता नहीं है, कितना सारा काम करता है, एंड फिर भी उसके फैकल्टी जो है, टीचर जो है, वो फिर भी हैप्पी नहीं है उससे, और भी काम करवाते हैं बेचारा, कितना कितना रात भर जागता है, रात भर तो जागना पड़ेगा. You will have to work a lot, and you have to be prepared for it. But remember, it's a challenge, and once you complete the course, this hard work doesn't stop. It continues, and it will definitely pay you in various terms. So if you believe that you are an artist with a scientific mind, or if you are a technological person, that's fine. You are a technological person till now. You are best in physics and chemistry and maths, but you still have hidden talent of drawing and all. So you are a technological person with artistic inclination, then definitely this course is for you. This field is for you. So what is BArch course? And who is the controlling body, how it goes about? So the controlling central body is Council of Architecture, New Delhi. They have the minimum standards set for whole India, education in whole India. They have certain minimum standards for colleges to run, for universities to run this BArch course. This is a 5 years full-time course after 12th science now. Previously, you might be aware that previously all arts, commerce, science, from all these 3 stream students were admitted in architecture course. But since last year, now the rules are changed and only science field is acceptable in BArch course. So if you are 12th science pass out, then only you can take admission to BArch course. But of course, even for a diploma, if you have done a diploma engineering, maybe 10+3 or something, then also you can take an admission. After the completion of this course, you have to register again with the Council of Architecture, that is our central body, and then immediately you can start practicing anywhere in India. So how do you take admission? What is the eligibility norms? What are the criteria? First of all, for taking admission in architecture, you have to pass or you have to get a valid score in NATA. NATA is the entrance test for architecture, that is National Aptitude Test in Architecture. So I will be talking about this year's eligibility criteria, because as I said, from time to time, the eligibility criteria keeps on changing. So these eligibility criteria were applied since last year. So you can take admission if you have passed or you are appearing 10+2 level examination with at least 50% aggregate marks in PCM and 50% aggregate mark in 10+2 level examination. So you have to have 50% aggregate plus 50% PCM. Even if one is lacking, you are not eligible to give NATA. Okay, or you might have passed 10+3 diploma examination with mathematics as a compulsory subject, with again 50% marks in aggregate. Relaxation of 5% marks for SC/ST category is there, and also of course PWD, person with disability. Again, till last year, JEE mains examination also was acceptable instead of NATA. So if you are not given NATA, but you have appeared from JEE main exam and you have a non-zero score, that was acceptable till last year, but this year COA has not mentioned it. Okay, so qualifying in NATA 2020. So even if you have got a valid score in NATA, you are eligible for architecture course. In spite of that, it is quite possible that you may not get admission in architecture course. So it doesn't mean that you have valid score in NATA, but how I am not getting admission in architecture? Of course, see, the people who are aspiring for NATA, who are getting valid score in NATA, are much more than the available seats. Okay, so this is a kind of advertisement in various newspapers. You might come across Council of Architecture gives this notice of NATA. You can go to the website of NATA, or you can go to website of Council of Architecture, and you will come across these kind of notices. Okay, so the pattern of NATA examination is basically it has 2 papers, part A and part B. So part A is all about your drawing skills. So drawing, sketching, then 3D drawings, perspectives, and the visualization. So this drawing exam is a physical exam. That is, you have to take a paper and all drawing materials, and the question is given to you. and you have to draw accordingly. Whereas part B is MCQ, that is all about your general aptitude and physics, chemistry, maths, whatever you have learned till now. There is nothing additional apart from your education till 12th. There is nothing out of syllabus from till 12th. Okay, so you don't have to study anything extra for NATA MCQs. If you have drawing ability or sketching ability in you, then I would suggest that you can just directly go for NATA examination and you will definitely get a valid score. Remember, it is the examination is in English medium. It is conducted twice a year. So there are two such exams happen. You can appear for both the exams. You can appear for only one exams. It depends on you. If you appear for both the exams, then the best score is considered. Okay. So you can see the structure of this NATA exam. It is out of 200 marks, of which 25% marks are a valid score, is a valid score. So if you get 25%, that is 50 marks out of 200 is a qualifying score or minimum valid score for NATA examination, of which you must get 18 marks in part A and 32 marks in part B. The validity of NATA score is this year, it is only for 1 year. They have announced that it will be only for 1 year. Means if you have given an exam in this session, you will have to take admission in this year only. If you are taking admission in next year to architecture, then this NATA score is not valid. You will have to appear NATA exam again. Exam fees, if you are appearing, if you are very confident you are appearing only for one exam, then the fees is 2000 rupees. But if you want to take chance and appear for both the exams, then the fees is 3800 if once paid. How to fill the form? Again, as I said, you can go to COA site or NATA site, and there is an online exam forms filling. So you can just go through the process. It will guide you through the process completely. It is interesting that how many students appear for NATA. People register, but many a times they don't appear, because generally what happens is architecture, because people don't know much about architecture, architecture is generally not their first choice. What happens, people decide that okay, I will try for IIT, then I will try for NIT, otherwise I will try for best colleges in engineering. If I don't get admission in engineering, then probably I will think about architecture. But I would suggest, if architecture is your last choice, please don't go for it, because you cannot sustain in the course of architecture if it is not your first choice. As I said, architecture demands a lot of work, lot of hard work from you. So if you don't have that passion, if you don't have that liking, then it's really, really difficult to sustain in this course. So of course, the registration is more, less people appear, and the passing percentage is around 66%. So how many seats are available? There are 465 institutes across India, increasing every year. Total around 28,000 seats across India. Uh, around in Mumbai, we have around 33 colleges till last year. So how do we prepare for NATA exam? Remember that COA does not allow any official coaching for NATA. Why? Because COA expects that students are students have these skills, that is drawing skills and visualization skills, inherent or probably acquired over the years or developed over the years. So even if you don't attend any classes, that is fine. As I said, if you like these things, if you like drawings, if you have those skills, and if you are good in your studies, you actually don't have to attend any NATA classes. But of course, in spite of that, because we feel so insecure about admissions and all, people start joining NATA classes. I have heard even NATA classes run or people join NATA classes from 9th standard onwards, which is, frankly speaking, it is ridiculous. Please don't waste your 4 years for preparing for architecture. Okay, if you join in say 11th, that is fine. 2 years NATA coaching classes is still fine. rather I would suggest, if you have it in you, if you are confident enough, you can just join vacation batches also, and that is more than enough. You can still pass NATA exam. Apart from that, you just type free mock test on the internet or some Google search, and you will come across various websites that offer free mock tests. So you can go through mock tests and you will come to know what is your status and where to improve upon. So what is the admission process for aspirants? The actual admissions given only by the individual state admission authority. In Maharashtra, it is DT, that is Directorate of Technical Education in Maharashtra. So different states have a different admission process, and if you want to take admission in another state, then you have to study the admission process there. How to fill an online admission form? Admission form is a different form than your NATA eligibility or NATA exam form. It means that you have got a valid score and now you are applying for admission in some college. Okay. So at that time, what I would suggest is check your score. What is your NATA score? Okay. And accordingly, you will select the college. I would suggest, please don't go on selecting the best college for yourself. Why? See, suppose the best college has a cutoff of say 180 or maybe say 160, and you have got NATA score somewhere between say 80 to 100, and you give the best colleges say the choice as 1, 2, 3. So definitely you are not going to get admission in these colleges. So of course, I'm not saying best colleges or medium colleges, but even if you miss by uh, one college, then again your admission will be at stake. The wise thing to do is check your score, check the various colleges that are available or good colleges that are available, and where your score matches with the cutoff score of a particular good college. If that matches, then there is a lot of possibility that you will definitely get admission in that college. So I would suggest you select the college first, depending on your valid score and depending on the cutoff score of that college, and select that college as your first choice. There are 90% chances that you will get admission in the first round itself in the same college. So how to identify college? Identify the colleges based on, as I said, that possibility of admission depending on your score and the cutoff of that college. Then the accessibility, how you are going to go to the college, how far it is, and the feasibility of accommodation if it is really, really far. Because many a times I have seen that people stay in Dombivli, okay, they take admission in Panvel, and then they come to know after traveling, say for first month, then they come to know that it's really difficult to travel every day. It's taking around 1.5 to 2 hours to and fro. So 4 hours are gone in traveling. Okay, so you are in college for say 7 to 8 hours, 4 hours are gone in traveling. And as I said, architecture demands a lot of work. So you come home very, very tired, and then you don't have any energy to work whatever assignments are given to you. And then next day you go without assignment, and then you start lagging behind and you start losing confidence. So the distance that you are traveling or the accommodation availability is, I feel that it's a very important aspect while deciding the college. What care has to be taken when you are deciding a college? You must check the credibility of that institute. So what is it standing? How old the college is? What people talk about that college? What is the experience of students in that college? Then check the university credibility also. See, in Mumbai also, as I said, there are 33 colleges. Uh, in those colleges also, there are some colleges which are not affiliated to Mumbai University, or even Pune also. There are many colleges in Pune which are not affiliated to Pune University. We just take it for granted that because the college is in Mumbai, it must be affiliated to Mumbai University, but it is not like that. There are some deemed universities. So I would suggest check what is the university credibility also, and whether that college is affiliated to the same university, or it is a deemed university, or it is a deemed college. Uh, then talk to alumni. If you are knowing some people who have passed out from that college, please talk to them how that institute was, what was their experience. I would suggest you physically visit those colleges. If you are deciding, say, 1, 2, 3 colleges choices, then I would suggest you visit those all 3 colleges physically. uh, Check the infrastructure, what are the availabilities there, then talk to their faculty. See whether you have that rapport, if you can, you feel that you can sustain or survive in that environment. Experience the work culture there, and definitely check the infrastructure also, because there are some colleges which may not have the minimum infrastructure that is required. Okay, so what is about what kind of subjects, or what is the core structure of architecture? How architecture is similar to the education that you have learned till now, or how it is different? I must tell you that whatever you have learned till now, in whatever environment you have learned till now, the education culture till now is completely different from architecture learning environment. See, until now uh, you might have taken the textbooks, you attend the lectures, you go to college, attend the lectures, take the notes, and then you come home, you read the notes, you read the textbooks, and even if you don't attend the colleges, it's still fine. You can take the notes from your friend, or you can refer to guide, or you can refer to some expected 21 set and all, and you just by heart the answers, go to the exam, write the examination, and you pass out. It is possible until now, that is till your 12th. It may be possible in other fields also. I am not aware of other fields. But in architecture, definitely this is not the learning culture or learning environment. Because the first thing is, architecture does not have any textbooks. You can see here, the ward is telling his father that there are no textbooks. Then how do I study? People come to us, parents particularly, they come to us and they ask us that, okay, my child has not come to college for last month or last 2, 3 months, and it was not possible for him or her. And you tell us the books, he will study, he is very good in studies, he will study and he will pass. Then we have to tell them, see, it is not possible in architecture, because in architecture there are no textbooks, there are no notes. You cannot just read the notes, by heart it, and pass. Okay, so what exactly is the culture? The culture is, you must attend every class, and your faculty will explain what is expected from you. If you are drawing something, your faculty will come to your board, they actually take the pencil in hand and they will explain how it is to be drawn, or what you had done, what is wrong in that, and it has to happen every day, every lecture, or every studio. So there are different learning modules, learning ways, I would say, in architecture. Of course, there are theory sessions which you are very, very familiar with. Until now, you are doing this. Then there are working studios, as I said, drawings and drafting and everything that happens in studios. Then there are workshops and on-site learning. On-site learning is, you have to leave college, you have to go on-site, you have to go to visit some historical structures or sites and study there, by looking at it, by working by hand on the site itself. So there are various ways. See, these theory sessions, again, as I said, this is familiar to you. This is a typical theory session. A lecture is happening and students are taking notes. But remember, this theory part is almost 20 to 25% in architecture. Okay, so this is a working studio where students are drawing, drafting, where design discussions happen, where faculties come to your desk and they explain to you, they discuss it with you. Then there are working studios where the discussion is happening. You can see this group discussion is happening. Even students discuss within themselves, students discuss with the faculty, faculty is explaining something. Okay, so you can see this kind of group discussion where students have already worked on some assignment. The assignment is kept in the center. Students are sitting around it, and the faculty is discussing each and every assignment, common factors or different factors, and they may be appreciating or criticizing your work in a group. Similarly, when you are working in a group or maybe individually also, so you have whatever is your assignment, maybe something a model like this or maybe some design, you have to explain it not to your professors only, but to the whole class or maybe to your whole group. So you have to learn public speaking also. That is also a part of architecture, which of course you will have to do afterwards also when you enter into the profession. Okay, then there are workshops. So workshops are about materials, then the drainage and water supply. There are various workshops in every college. You can see here on-site working. Uh, in the first photograph, you can see a brick wall and arch. Students are standing on it. This wall, they are, can you see, they are so proud because this wall and this arch is built by them. And it is so strong that they are standing on it. Okay, similarly, you can see just below that there are various arches built by various different groups of students. Next, you can see that you might have seen this scenario somewhere on the construction sites. Students have made a small model of that. That is a structural design. This is a steel design, and they have actually worked with small wires, the whole class in parts, and then they have kept it together. This model is uh, worked together. Uh, okay, then you can see this is a sculpture they are working on. So you can see this plaster of Paris. They are working on some plinth or something, and then you can see a sculpture that is constructed by them. Okay, this is a site visit and the study tours. Study tours are inherent part of architecture course. You have to visit various cities and then probably visit the historic structures or maybe modern structures. You have to learn it. Of course, the faculty accompanies you and they will explain it on site. You be there, you study, you sketch, you discuss, you debate, you take the measurements of the structures, and probably whenever you come back you again work on it and reproduce the drawings and the models of whatever you have learned in your study tours or on site. Then we go for city walks for sketching. This is a site, their design site that is given to them, and they have went there uh, to take the measurements and study the site for the contours and for whatever vegetation is there, and depending on that they will design the structure. Okay, so this is all about the learning environment. So what is this BArch course and what are the stages in it? As you know, this is a 5 years course, that is 10 semesters. Remember that this is a CGPA system is followed in this course. It means that you have to be very consistent from your first semester to last semester. You cannot afford to ignore your studies maybe somewhere in first 2-3 years and then gear up and then give your best in last 2 years. This won't work because your CGPA will come down. CGPA is a average of your marks, whatever you have got the marks from first semester till the last semester. So the consistency is very required, and you have to work from your first semester onwards very hard, very sincerely, and being very passionate. Okay, so there are two stages in architecture. Stage one is up to your third year. You complete your third year and you have completed your stage one. Sixth semester, you will have a university exam. Okay, these 3 years you must complete in 5 years. That is a requirement by COA and by Mumbai University also. What will happen if you don't complete it in 5 years? If you get some ATKTs and backlogs and all, and you could not complete these 3 years in 5 years, then you are out of course. You cannot continue with the course. Similarly, the stage two, again 10 semester you will have a university exam, and all these 10 semesters, that is 5 years, you have to complete in 7 years. Okay, out of which again semester 8 is internship. You will be working in some architectural firms for this particular semester. Okay, I talked about infrastructure and I told you that whenever you visit the college, you please check the infrastructure whether it is in place or not, because otherwise it will be really difficult with to cope up with the architectural studies. I'm just giving you some examples of my college. These are the working studios, lecture rooms. You can see this environment, working environment here. Okay, auditorium, seminar halls, computer labs, which is again compulsory. Check how many computers individual institute has, because there should be enough computers for everyone to work on. Okay, then this is a surveying lab with various surveying instruments. This is a building services lab. You can see pipes and all, and it is already kept in the laboratory, how it is to be connected. You can see this electrical instruments here. Building construction lab with various building materials placed. You can see this staircase. This is built by the students, architecture students. Similarly, you can see this structural work, that is column and beam, again built by architectural students. So it's a actually a pleasure to work in architecture. Laser cutting machine, 3D printers, library. So these are various infrastructures that every college is expected to have. What are further education opportunities? Of course, it's a very difficult to think of further education, because at this stage, because of course this is a lengthiest course in India, I would say, 5 years course after 12th. So you give all your energy and you get tired up at the end of these 5 years, and maybe at that time you may think that forget about the further education and all, I will start my own practice. Okay, very well, you can go for it. But if you are looking for jobs, then I would say that further education is really important. Okay, so there are various master's courses, full-time courses, part-time courses. Then there are various durations, that is 1 year, 1.5 year, or 2 years. But again, if you are looking for a sustainable career in your architecture profession, then I would suggest you should think of a full-time master's course, which is of 2 years and not less than 2 years, which will definitely benefit you, particularly if you are looking for a job. Maybe it may be a government job, or it may be MNCs, or maybe in education. Okay, in India, there are various master's courses like MArch in landscape, urban design, urban planning, then general architecture or environmental design, or even construction management. Construction management can be a separate course also. Then there is ME. After architecture, you can go to ME also, that is Masters in Engineering. There are few colleges or universities offering this course to architects also. So ME, town or urban planning. Then MDes is Masters in Design. IITs offer this course, Masters in Industrial Design. Then MPlan. MPlan also, there are few colleges or few universities offering MPlan course after BArch. MPlan is also available after BPlan. Okay, then if you are looking to have an opportunity to study abroad and maybe settling there, then of course there are various opportunities. You go for masters, do MS in US, and you have a lot of chances to settle over there. Okay, so abroad you have MArch course, MS, MPlan, MDes. In Europe, UK, US, Australia. Particularly, I would suggest if you are going to Europe or UK, then please check the course, whether it is full time, and the duration of the course, because many courses in Europe and UK are 1 or 1.5 years courses. So please check that before you select your course for masters. What are the job opportunities? There are n number of job opportunities. As I said, uh, people work in various different fields other than architecture also. You might be aware various artists who are settled in different fields other than architecture. You might be knowing Remo Fernandez, as I said, Ritesh Deshmukh, and there are various artists settled in acting career. But of course, apart from that, if you are looking for again architecture related job opportunities, then after your third year, you can start working as interior designer. Of course, people, rather I would say more than 80% architects, when they pass out and they start their career, they generally start their career with interior designing, because these are small jobs, and you can get interior designing jobs from your close contacts immediately. Okay, then you can work in architectural firms, private architectural firms. You can work in government offices. There are various government offices offering jobs to architects. These are municipal authorities, MMRDA, SIDCO, then town planning departments. Then there are MNCs, that is multinational companies. Even in India, L&T and all these big companies are also appointing architects. Then various developers offices like Rahejas, Hiranandanes, Godrej, they are also appointing architects. Then you can design film sets and all. So you can work with Nitin Desai and all, that is also possible. If you want to know more about architecture, you can visit Pillai College of Architecture site. There are various events and students' work exhibited there on the website. So again, coming back to what architecture course or education expects from you is a hard work, and there is no shortcuts to hard work. Okay, so hard work beats talent. Even if you are talented, still if somebody is hardworking, particularly in architecture, it really happens that talented people may not get the expected score if they are not consistent and if they are not hardworking. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So never ever forget this. Okay? Thank you. So this is all about architecture, education and admission that I know about.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. This was really very important information that you have shared. खरंच आजच्या मुलांना ही या करिअर बद्दल कुठल्याही प्रकारची माहिती द्यायला आपल्याकडे जास्त रिसोर्सेस उपलब्ध नाही आहेत. म्हणजे बाकीच्या करिअरसाठी बऱ्याच प्रकारची माहिती आपल्याला सहज मिळू शकते, इंटरनेटवरती सुद्धा सहज मिळू शकते. पण खरंच एक आर्किटेक्चर जे आहे ते खूप ग्लॅमरस फील्ड आहे, क्रिएटिव्ह फील्ड आहे आणि त्याबद्दल माहिती द्यायला फार लोक उपलब्ध नाहीये. सो आय रिली व्हेरी थँक्यू व्हेरी मच मॅम. यू स्टे विथ अस मॅम, कारण की आपल्याला यापुढे क्वेश्चन अँड आन्सर सेशन सुद्धा घ्यायचं आहे. सो प्लीज स्टे विथ अस.